to Beyond Sports with Paul and Jeremy. Today we're joined by a special guest, someone near and dear to me, my cousin Evin. So, welcome, Evin, to the show. Thanks for coming on our show today.
No,
Um,
no problem.
Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the NFL divisions, right? So we're going to talk about, we already talked about the season, some of the things to look out for, some of our quarterback rankings. Now we're going to talk about the individual divisions and maybe even give a division champ, and then who knows from there, right? So that's what we're going to be focused on today. Let's see. Jeremy, anything you want to add to that part, by the way?
Nah, all right. So we had said we were gonna go through and like predict every team's record and everything like that, but I got busy, so no, nothing to say. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah. So I know you had. He was like, yeah, nothing to say about that. All right. So we're gonna first start off by talking about the Bucks, right? So we have our special guest. As you can see, he's a Bucks fan. He has a jersey. What's on the back of your jersey? Anything specific, or is just
White,
whose jersey is that?
white.
White? Nah. See, there we go.
No, that's not Mike Allstott.
Oh nah, he's in the washing machine right now.
Yeah, I like that old school hat. By the way, so yeah, we have Evin here. So he's a fan of the Bucks, the defending champs. So Evin, just tell us a little bit about how you became a Bucks fan. How's it been with the years of not doing well with 3-12 teams to having Tom Brady come and I guess help you guys get to the Super Bowl and win it.
Shoot, man. Man, it's been a long time, but like one of my favorite players was Brooks. So,
Yeah.
he's a defensive player, so he was like one of my favorite players. So that's one reason why I like playing defense when I was playing football. So, you know, yeah, but it's all good.
Yeah, he was a beast. And you played linebacker too, so I forgot
Yeah,
about that. Yeah, you
yeah,
actually were a pretty solid linebacker. So yeah, I don't know. I was more of offensive line, defensive line, but I ain't mess with the linebacker stuff as much. So, but yeah.
yeah.
So now that we talked about who you became
Hold
a
on,
fan
hold
or
on,
how
hold on,
you
hold on,
became a fan,
hold on,
go
hold on,
ahead.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Go
Let me
ahead,
ask you,
Darren.
Evan. When did you start becoming a Bucks fan? I'm not saying you've been a Bucks fan for like a year and a half. I know you go back. So when did you actually become a Bucks fan?
And it was probably back in. I was probably like little league football. You know, I didn't really like know the players back then because I was too young.
Yeah.
But just me watching them and everything like that. Even though they didn't suck, even though it was kind of bad,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I still liked them. You
Okay,
know
so
what I
this
mean?
is before the Super Bowl, before like
Yeah,
the
this way before
2001,
they went
two
to,
two.
but
Oh yeah, oh,
yeah.
two.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have favorite players on other teams, but I was a true Bucks fan.
See, I
You know what I mean?
I remember. So I'll say what I remember. I remember Bucks. I remember Vikings when I think Dante Culpepper went there. He started messing with them, and then was it 49ers maybe Raiders 49ers? I can't remember
Yeah,
which chair y'all had.
Jerry Rice, because I like Jerry Rice, but
Yeah,
I would, you know what I mean? I ain't like, what, no, big fan. I never had no jersey.
you didn't. I will say that. I will say that. So let's see. So been a Bucks fan, had a couple other teams that you like because of the players, and now the Bucks are solid, kind of good, right? So
Yeah, yeah, I'll give you that.
that's cool. So I'm asking, so how's it feel now? How's it feel with
I,
them? Did you think that they was gonna make a Super Bowl? Did you think that Tom Brady was gonna have a big
I
effect?
honestly, I I felt like we was gonna get in the wild card,
Yeah.
but as far as Super Bowl, I was thinking like I would like to win, but at the same time, yeah, it's Brady, but you see what happened when Brady was in New England.
Yeah.
And they got beat by the Giants twice in the Super Bowl. So, that's where my mind was, up and down like that.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? We pulled it off. That's shoot. I was happy about that. I don't care how we got it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like.
You don't care if the refs helped out at all.
You know what? A lot of people was saying because of some of the refs, and then because the Chiefs didn't have they right side offensive line.
Oh yeah. Eric Fisher, yeah.
Hey, a win is a win. You know what I mean? People got to step up. So,
I say that's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
How you gonna step up against the refs though? Hey. Here's what it is.
I spend a whole lot of time.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't really. I put it like this: the refs are the refs. You can't really dog out the team. The refs gonna be the refs at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's not the team's fault that the refs do this or the refs do that.
Oh, I never said it was a team, so I just was wondering how you like that boost, that booster seat.
I mean, hey, it's cool.
I take it too. If my team won the championship because of the refs, I'd be like, hey, we won the championship. Take that up with the refs. So
it's like, okay, remember that one game? What was it? The Cowboys, right? They said he didn't catch the ball, but he actually caught the ball.
Dez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually caught that ball. After looking at that whole thing, he actually caught that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, man, hey, stuff happens.
Hey, I'm with you. I was asking how you felt about it. So,
I mean, I feel good about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I go around, every day, man. I got a whole bunch of Bucks jerseys, Bucks shirts. Shoot, people say stuff. Good things, some of them say bad things. I don't care. My team won the Super Bowl. That's all I care about. And they won it at home. So, I'm cool with that.
All right, here's the thing. So, I spend a lot of time trying not to talk about the Bucks on the podcast, all right? Every time we bring it up, I get rid of it. I was like, nah, we ain't doing it. I'll just slyly not say anything about it. And it's not because of the Bucks. It's because of Tom Brady, basically. So
true.
The fact that, all right, you, Evin, you've been a fan since before they won the 2002 Super Bowl, right? Since before John Gruden, all of that. So, I got to give you props for that. That's your team. You stuck by him the whole time. So I never considered fans that, really ride for the team the whole time, So
I roll with them when they suck, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I roll for them when they suck. As like I said, as years went on and we wasn't doing too good, I still roll with them. I don't care. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. Everybody, has their own little thing. I know a few people that are so-called Bucks fans, but they're only Bucks fans because of Brady. You know what I'm saying?
A lot.
You know what I'm saying? But I look at it like this: if people was to actually watch that game, it was more than just Brady. You know what I'm saying? You had the defense helping out Brady, but at the same time, people still wanted to give him the praise. But at the same time, you got to think it's the defense too. So, I mean, like I said, I'm just happy we won it. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Congrats with that. So, I think Jeremy definitely doesn't like Brady. I don't like Brady. I've never been a Brady fan.
I've
ever
never been a Brady fan, but at the same time, I can't call him up and say, nah, don't get him. Hey, we got him. We won a Super Bowl. That's all I care about.
It's another valid point. If the Colts got Brady and they end up going and winning the Super Bowl, I'd probably be like, all right, we got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, then I got to hear about Brady every week.
Some people
still
you
would have to.
At the same time, behind closed doors, they would like it because they got a Super Bowl ring with him.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I say. Like it's the same thing. It's like if your team won, no matter who you didn't like, you still won. So, like I said, I think they. I'll never be that Brady type of fan. I don't think Jeremy ever will, and Evin probably won't either. But at least you got a championship out of Brady, so that's better than what I can say for sure.
But I will say this just to be straight up forward. Now, when all this stuff happened, the little COVID thing and everything like that, when everything started getting somewhat back to normal, I went on the NFL shop, man, and I had to get only jersey that was available, and I didn't feel like waiting, was Brady. So I got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a true Buck fan no matter who's on the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Bucks fan, plain and simple. I don't care who's on the team, I'm a Bucks fan.
I mean, that's cool. I'm like that with the Colts. They test me sometimes, and the Pacers, the same thing. They test me. They test me all the time. So
since we're talking about my squad, let's talk about your squad.
Well, let's do your division first.
All right.
And then we'll come to the Coast division. How about that?
All right, that's cool.
All right, so let's talk about that division, right? So, in your division, what is it? The Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers, and the Falcons, right?
Yep.
So, what do you guys think? I'll let Jeremy go first. What do you think about that division? Is it a tough division? Fairly easy? Who's like the headliner and who just doesn't have a shot, I guess?
Right, so it's going to be competitive because the Saints and the Bucks last year, Saints were the best team in the division all year long, right? The Bucks got them back in the playoffs, and they won the Super Bowl, so they got bragging rights, period. But is that Saints defense going to be the same? If the Saints defense is still good, then they got a chance to beat the Bucks. So that's going to be the rivalry that defines the division, right? The wild card is going to be the Panthers, because I don't think we think the Falcons are going to be that good. I really don't. But the Panthers can, in year 2 of Matt Rule, can they work with Sam Darnold? Can they actually make some noise in that division? But I think it's a 2-team race. And then I think the Panthers, you got to look at as being probably the third team where you know a little bit about them. The Falcons have some interesting players. I just can't see the Falcons being that big of a player right now in the division. So I'll probably go with the Bucks first, Saints second, Panthers, then Falcons.
All right. So you said Bucks, Saints. No, wait. Bucks, Panthers, Saints, and Falcons.
No, Bucks, Saints, Panthers, Falcons.
All right. Man, so for me, I'm close, but I'll let Evin go. So Evin, what are you thinking with that division? How's it gonna line up? And what are some of the things you're thinking about with that division?
Bucks fans, of course, with me being a Bucks fan, of course, I'm gonna say we're gonna be first. But as far as second, third, and as far as second, third, and fourth, I honestly I don't know, man, because the Saints' offense really ain't gonna be the same. I don't think. Then you gotta think Carolina. You know what I'm saying? They don't have Christian McCaffrey. I don't think they still have him. I don't. If they do,
he's just been sitting out. He's been sitting out like all preseason.
But I don't think you know what I'm saying. I don't think they're gonna really be anything. I think they really should have kept Cam Newton. And I will say this: Atlanta was gonna be dead last. Only reason why I said that is because when they messed up their Super Bowl, they lost all the chance of going back. When you play with Brady, you think you're gonna win the game and just black? Oh, it's over.
You can't be vouching for Brady like that, man. You can't just come here and talk crap about the man, then vouch for him like that when you got Brady.
I'm just putting proof in the pudding. I'm just saying, when the Falcons did that, they lost it, man. You know what I'm saying? They lost all credibility of getting back at the top.
Hey, see, I think that the Falcons, they definitely struggle. Like they had their shot, but Matt Ryan just he had his difficulties with tough losses as the quarterback. I don't know what to say about it. I don't
But
know what to say about it.
I
It was
feel
bad.
dead last. I think in second, like in second and third, well, I think it's going to be between the Saints and Carolina, who's ever going to be second. Because I don't think, like I said, Falcons, man. I'm sorry, they sad, man.
So
Yeah, Falcons, they had the
go
one
ahead,
year
Jim.
because of Kyle Shanahan, and they also got cursed because of Kyle Shanahan in the Super Bowl because he just can't score a point in the fourth quarter as a coordinator or head coach in the Super Bowl. So there's just been this thing too, right? Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, they both peaked. They had that Super Bowl year or Super Bowl MVP years, and then they just fell off. And that's just kind of been, quarterbacks do that. They just kind of peak whatever one year, fall off, and that's all you really hear from them. So Matt Ryan, I don't know why he's still even in the league, but he's still there, and they keep getting new weapons. Like Kyle Pitts, everybody thinks he's gonna do
They're
well.
not really going to do nothing to that dude until he feels like he want to go.
So it's funny, by the way, that you guys are talking about the Falcons. So we do have our Facebook Live going, and there's a few comments, actually a decent amount of comments from Lynn, and she is saying that the Falcons are going to surprise both of you guys. You have no idea what you're talking about, and we're going to surprise you guys. So just let that be said.
What is
and
surprise? What does it mean by surprise, Lynn?
Might
Su-
live
su-
down.
surprised by the record and do a lot better. So
Might live
All right.
down there, but she's a coach. But she's a coach. She bleeds coats. Can't really trust that comment.
But even so, if I think they're gonna finish like 4-13, is Lynn saying they're gonna finish like 6-11? Is that what we talking about? Surprise?
all right, so we'll see what she has to say with that one. And I'll add that Matt Ryan had been good for a lot of years. He had been consistently putting up solid numbers and stats, but he didn't know how to win, right? And I feel like that's kind of like goes to that point that Evan was making earlier when he was saying that, yeah, Brady, you can't just like take the gas off because you never know he knows how to win. So
Just an example, you know what I mean? That was just an example. You know, when you're winning the game, because they was winning the game.
they always win
And
in the
then all
game.
of a sudden, they let them come back. Like if you when I was watching that game, man, I was, that commercial with Eli Manning came on.
Yeah.
He got upset at the Falcons because they let Brady come back. I was like, see, you don't do that.
Hey, it is what it is.
That's just like if you paid attention to when we was going to the Super Bowl. On our way to the Super Bowl, every team that we played on our way there, what they coaches do, call timeout. After they call timeout, what happened? We scored. Made the score even larger.
I gotta go back and look at that.
Like this, just stupid stuff. You know what I mean?
Hey,
but like I said, we take it.
Well, I honestly, I say for me, right, thinking about the division, right, I feel sad for the Saints because they're going through a lot more right now, right? So they're not going to have some of their home games, right? They're playing in Jacksonville this week or something like that, going away from the turf, going on grass, right? Not having the comfort of home, not having that fan base. And that's one of the biggest things about the Saints is that their fan base brings out so many people, right? And they win a lot of home games, right? That's just one of the things about the Saints. The Panthers, I think the Panthers could actually be one of those surprise teams this year.
With Jameson, then if they play him.
You said what about Jameson?
So do you think they gonna let him start or?
Oh yeah, we did a show last week. He's starting. Yeah. Check that one out. Yeah, he's starting. We talked about all the projections of that one.
They gonna do it for him though.
You gotta check out the episode.
I mean, right now, you think he gonna do it for him?
I'll tell you that it's all in the episode. He said what? I think Jameson will be solid. Like I feel like he has a lot to prove. But I think he will do a good job. So we talked about the interception issue, the passing yards, like the age, the year of review, like the backup, all that stuff. So yeah, we talked about all of that stuff. So I think Jameson will be okay. Or Jameson will be okay. But I want to see how he does because you never know with that system. You never know with the coach and how things might change with the timing of the wide receivers and how Drew Brees got people open and what they got comfortable to. Are they going to still be able to succeed at that same level and be as dynamic as they were without as precise, I'll say, of a quarterback when comparing Drew Brees to Jameis Winston? So that's one of the things that I'll say with that part. What about you, Jeremy?
I don't think that Jameis needs to be Hall of Fame good for the Saints to be good. He just needs to be better than what the broke down, injured Drew Brees was last year. And I think he can run the offense fine. If he cuts down on interceptions and turnovers, I think he'll be fine. And he's not going to be as bad as he was that last year in Tampa. So if he just does okay, the team's going to be fine as long as their defense is still as good as it was last year. So I think the Saints can be really good.
Awesome. Yeah, so I say that's what I think about the Saints. I think the Panthers are going to be pretty solid. I like their young team. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be solid for them, as well as their wide receivers. I think that they have a nice young group to go along with a very stout defense that's coming along. So I think that part is going to be tough. So we talked about the Saints, and then the Falcons. The Falcons, wow, yeah, the Falcons. I say that they still need some help. They still need some love down there in Atlanta. I'm not sure what ends up happening to the Falcons this year, but there's probably some good quarterbacks that are going to come out. They're probably going to need one of those because I don't think Matt Ryan is the guy for the future. Like they have Matt Ryan as their starter and like Josh Rosen. You said what?
I said Cam Newton need a job right now.
Well, they got Matt Ryan and Josh Rosen as their quarterback. So if Matt Ryan goes down, then your next option is Josh Rosen, and I don't think that Josh Rosen is really ready to take that type of leap. Me and Jeremy kind of talked a little bit about Josh Rosen. We wanted to do a little bit about him later. But I don't think that Atlanta has that continuation unless Matt Ryan is going to pull something out of somewhere, out of a bag of tricks or something from the past. Like I don't think that they're going to have a good shot. So I say that I'll go with the Bucs number one, and then I think the Panthers, and then the Saints. And then I'll go the Falcons. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
I was torn up between the Saints and Carolina because, you know what I'm saying, that's iffy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like I said, I think that's where I would sit at with those different teams. And I think that's pretty good. Like I think we all have the Bucs at the top. We all have the Birds at the bottom. And then in the middle, we have the Saints and the Panthers. So I think that's a pretty solid type of group right there. Let's talk about the Colts now. So we talked about the Bucs, right? And we talked about their division. So Evan, first of all, I'll let you bring in the Colts, and then I'll go to Jeremy, and I'll end in that part too as well. So Jeremy, Evan, what do you think about the Colts? What are your thoughts about this Colts team?
I mean, man, as far as the quarterback thing, I don't know, man. I'm kind of up and down about that. But I mean, you know, it's whatever they want to do. But I mean, during the draft, they actually did better than they did other years.
Okay.
I mean, to me, they were just picking just to be picking and not picking the right players. But, you know, if anything, it's going to be a tough road, man. I think it's going to be between the Titans and the Colts, whoever going to be first on top of that. You know what I mean?
Titans and the Colts, okay.
Yeah, but, I mean, running back, I think they have too many, man. I don't think they really need that many running back. You know what I mean? Yeah,
they got rid of a couple of them. But they, you know, like, I think that the running backs that they have are useful because they all kind of serve a little bit
About
different
Mac,
roles. You said what?
how you feel about Mac then? Is it you think he's
I think he'll be a reserve until somebody gets hurt. But that's my main thing because he's not a really a change of pace. If anything, it'll be Wilkins. That's the change of pace, and then Naeem Hines or whatever. So he'll be that guy that you can just put in when you still want the offense to run the same way that you would have with oh, dang it, Jonathan. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot his name. So what? And then Jeremy. So what do you think? What do you think about the Colts this season? What do you think about them? And then we'll talk a little bit more about the division individually.
Well, I think you expressed a lot of doubt about Carson Wentz, and he got injured early, coming off that foot injury. We don't know if he was going to be good anyway, and now he's coming off injury, off of surgery, might not be very good. I think the biggest problem is that they have one of the lowest vaccination rates in the NFL.
Yeah.
And so if they have any people that test positive and they got to forfeit games, those games are just forfeits, right? If the game has to get moved because of unvaccinated players, that's a forfeit. They might forfeit a lot of games. So it might not even be that they get beat on the field, but just based on that, they might lose a lot of games. So I'm not really feeling the Carson Wentz move, not really feeling that they could lose a lot of games by forfeit. So I don't know.
so
I
do
think
you
Evan,
say
did you say the Titans? Titans.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think Titans win that division easily because Jacksonville, rookie quarterback, new coach, they're going to be a work in progress. Houston's a mess, up and down, new coach, Deshaun Watson situation. So it really would only be the Titans and the Colts, and I can't see the Colts challenging the Titans. Even if the Titans aren't good, they're still going to be the best team in that division, I think. So I would go Titans, Colts, and then Jacksonville, then Houston last.
Titans, Colts, Jacksonville, Houston. Okay. Yeah, so I'll say that Houston, I think that they have a lot going on with them. So I just don't think that they have enough right now, and there's too many distractions down there for them to really get much going. So that's basically it for Houston. So they will surprise me if they win more than like 4 games. I'd probably be surprised. Like I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to start. So I think that's an afterthought. But yeah, I say 4 or 5 games would probably be like their max this season. I would think. Jacksonville is interesting. Jacksonville has a young quarterback, a lot of good running backs, and some young wide receivers, and they've been developing their defense as well. I think that a young quarterback can definitely get targeted. And one thing that we saw with Trevor Lawrence is that in the national championship game, he was under pressure a lot, right? They were able to find a lot of ways to get him under pressure and to kind of like throw him off of what he was used to doing. So I'll say that he will have a really good season. Maybe it'll be something like how Peyton's was a long time ago, not comparing him to Peyton, but how the season was where he has a lot of turnovers, he throws a lot of touchdowns, and he does a lot to try to win, but they end up with a losing record, but they can kind of develop from there. Another thing, I think Travis Etienne, his co-running, or his mate, his backfield mate, got hurt, right? So they drafted him to Jacksonville, and he also hurt himself, and he's out for the season, right? So he doesn't have his right-hand man with him. So I think that kind of hurts as well with that development and growth and being comfortable. So I say that Jacksonville and the Texans will be at that bottom part. And then with the Colts and the Titans, I think that's tough, right? So I'll say that I think that the Titans have a lot going for them. The biggest question for me is how good is Ryan Tannehill? Is he going to show that he is a top-level quarterback this year? They put a lot of weapons around him. They already had A.J. Brown there. Now they have Julio Jones, so they have all of these guys, and including Derrick Henry. So they have a lot around them to kind of work with. They lost Corey Davis to the Jets, but their team right now is looking pretty solid. Their defense has been stout these past few years, as well as that offense with Derrick Henry. But you have to wonder if his legs are going to hold up, because he is getting a little bit older there and taking all those carries year after year. So, this could be the year where he kind of starts to break down. So that's one thing that I worry about. But now we get to the Colts. So speaking of fresh legs, right, Jonathan's a runner. This guy is a beast. And somebody in my fantasy league took him right before me. I knew they were going to do it, and I was looking at it. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that.
Dude, that was my keeper anyway. I gave him up to see who was available,
It don't.
and there
It
was
don't.
nobody
It
available but
doesn't.
him, so I kept him anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Didn't matter.
It don't matter. It
Look,
don't
he's gonna
matter.
miss I bet you he's gonna test positive and miss a bunch of games. I ain't worried about it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. So I think so. I'll say he's pretty solid, right? And the offensive line that we have is really good as well. The wide receivers, that group has been slept on, but I think that when we have Paris Campbell back healthy, he has playmaking ability. Michael Pittman Jr. can definitely catch pretty much any pass that's coming his way. Ty is going to be out. Who knows if he comes back this season? Who knows if he doesn't? There's a neck injury. They said that the surgery went well, so hopefully he'll be back at some point this year. But we also have a rookie named Mike. That's Mike Stranton, I think it is, or Stranch, or something like that. He's like 6'5", huge wingspan, super fast, and he's going to be another one of those playmakers. Add to that with the tight ends that we have on our team this year and how Carson Wentz likes to play. So I'll say this. I'm assuming that Carson Wentz plays the majority of the games this year as long as he doesn't get hurt. So if he does not get hurt, I'll say this first of all. I'm not a huge Carson Wentz fan, so this is an optimism. I think that Carson Wentz has a lot of good strengths. He's good at those short passes. He's good at getting those tight ends open. He's good at taking some shots down the field, but he's not necessarily always going to be the most accurate quarterback. Sometimes he eyes guys down, and it causes turnovers. And then there's also the confidence issues. So I think that with Carson Wentz, if he's not able to get over his confidence issues, if he's not able to even be at practice because of COVID-related things or because of injuries to his ankle or arm or finger or hair or fingernail, I don't know what it might be. Whatever it is, if he's not there to practice and get that timing with his team, I think right now he's only had maybe like 7-8 full practices in training camp with his team. So if he doesn't get that and he doesn't get into the rhythm, then it could throw off a lot of things, especially when you're talking about him trying to complete some of these shorter routes to his wide receivers and tight ends and running backs. But luckily that he has Jonathan there because I think that he is going to have an awesome year, especially with screen passes out of the backfield, and just his running ability should open up so much more for Carson Wentz. So that's what I think will happen with the Colts. So for me, if Carson Wentz stays healthy, I think that we should have a good chance of at least going 10-6 at the least.
17
games. 11-6. 11-6. I forgot about that one. 11-6. The Titans should be like right around there too. So I'll say it's gonna be close. It's gonna be either the Titans or Colts, and I'll go with the Colts just to break up this because I can't have my hometown team in second place right now. So I'll go with the Colts, the Titans.
What
And
about
then
the division?
the Jags and the
So you think they
Texans.
would win the division,
Yeah.
even with Tennessee?
You guys, one thing that I didn't really mention that you guys are sleeping on is the Colts defense. Like, we're talking about the offense, and the offense is vastly improved, but the defense. You said what?
I'm talking about Tennessee's defense, though.
I'm talking about the Colts defense.
I
What do you know about the Colts defense?
saw them play. I ain't saying they suck. I'm just saying it's Tennessee's defense. I said, do you think they offense will hold up against their defense?
Oh, I think the Colts offense can. Like, Carson Wentz does make some big plays. The biggest thing for him is just going to be comfortable. Like, he needs to be comfortable. Well, I think when you talk about him and being in the pocket, he does have a strong arm. He can make plays. He can control guys downfield with his vision and how he looks at different players. But at the same time, he has to have time to do those types of things. And when he doesn't have time, I think he gets a lot more frustrated and kind of all over the place. And when that happens, that's when he starts to make those mistakes. He starts to try to force passes, and then things start to go wrong. And I think that's what the Colts have to worry about with him.
That division, man, I feel like it's just gonna be between the Colts and Tennessee up top. Like, I don't really know who's gonna be first. I really don't know who's gonna be second between those two. It's really, I really don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think that Tennessee's defense was really good 2 years ago, all right last year, and we'll see about this year. But I think defense for defense, the Colts probably have a better defense right now than Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee is kind of living off of 2 years ago. The reputation on defense, they weren't that great last year on defense. So if the Colts offense is really good, maybe, but I'll still go with Tennessee to win. One thing about Carson Wentz that I do know is Carson Wentz was another one of those quarterbacks that had one great year. And then when he got that ACL injury, remember that? The Super Bowl year?
Yeah.
He should have won MVP. It's been downhill since. It hasn't been that long, but he's not found his form again. So I think that's kind of why people are doubting him, because he's not had anything near that season since he tore his ACL.
Yeah, again, like I said, I'm not a Carson Wentz fan, but I do understand what he can do if given the certain types of building blocks that he needs, right? Like everybody is only as good as they are depending on what they have as their resources, right? And him having time is a huge resource, right? Him having that comfortability or comfortability in that offense is another one of those resources. He's with a coach that he's used to, that he has success with. So again, that's another resource. And with all these resources combined, I think that allows him to become more of that Carson Wentz that we saw, that went and had that team that went on to the Super Bowl that he contributed to, I guess I'll have to say, right? So we'll get a little bit more of that type of Wentz, I think, than anything else. So when we're talking about Carson Wentz, he has had a lot of struggles, especially when he tried to be that lead man and put everything on his back, because that's not his role. But he is a playmaker. He can make really solid passes, but he just needs to have those resources there. So is he an amazing quarterback? No. Is he a good quarterback given the resources? I say yes. So I think that the Colts will be a little bit stronger now.
Answer the question from Janice Harris. Is their offense better this year than last year? Yes or no?
I think so. I think that the offense is going to be vastly better. I like Phillip Rivers and what he did. He surprised me with some of the things that he actually brought to the Colts. But there were certain moments where you just saw that Phillip Rivers couldn't make the throw. Right? He couldn't get it into those little small gaps, and that's one of the things that hurt us as well, like near the end of the season. So when you're talking about Carson Wentz being able to have that power, being able to have that strength, and then also when you're talking about one of the best lines in the NFL, I think now you put Carson Wentz in a situation again where he can succeed. So I think that that's the biggest thing with Wentz, and why he should be good and why the offense in general should be better. Again, right, you have Jonathan Taylor that's in his second year. You have Michael Pittman Jr. in his second year. So a lot of these guys have learned so much. And you have, again, Paris Campbell that's coming back in this year as well. So he's had a lot of injury issues, but adding those guys together, you have so many playmakers. And we didn't even talk about Nyheim Hines and what he can do out of the backfield, you know.
So. Yeah, you convinced me a little bit. It's going to be a little closer than I thought at the top, maybe, but I'm still going with Tennessee.
All right. So,
too.
Oh, some people just choose to be losers. Let's tackle one more right now. So let's get the what you guys thinking? Let's do AFC North. How y'all like AFC North? We got Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. We could do AFC East, Buffalo, New England, the Jets, Miami. Or we could do NFC East, Washington, Philly, New York, and the Cowboys. That's probably the other interesting one. And then San Francisco, Arizona, Seattle, and the Rams. So which one of those would you guys like to tackle out of these?
Well, don't matter to me. I shoot.
All right, well let's do NFC East. I like the NFC East. I think that's a good one too.
And I think that's almost like a no-brainer, probably.
What, the Cowboys? You think the Cowboys gonna win that one?
No. I think that if anything, they could probably come in second, maybe.
All right, so let's talk about the NFC East then. So Jeremy, I'll let you start off this one. What do you think about the NFC East? Also, before you guys answer that, do you guys think that Cam gets picked up this year?
No, I like what Evin said. I think Cam going home to Atlanta would be cool. They ain't gonna do it, but I'd love to see that happen. But I think he does get picked up. I can't see where right now, but there's no way he isn't on a roster at the end of the season at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I
the
go ahead.
quarterback. Who really needs a quarterback right now? Like,
Who? It's not even who needs a quarterback. Who wants Cam to be
well,
their
who?
quarterback, right?
I
And
mean,
who
like,
thinks that Cam can run their offense? That's what I think.
if anything, I don't know, man. You know, because I
They,
even thought
yeah, who knows?
is going to, if I would say, I probably could even saw him going to the Cowboys, maybe, but I doubt that. But you know what I mean?
Nah, I
Some
say I don't know. I need to look at some of the rosters. I was gonna say Miami might be an interesting fit.
Yeah.
I think
see,
that him being a backup quarterback in Miami might actually work. With the type of weapons that Miami has on their offense, also with Tal down there, and then also Mike Gesicki as their tight end. Cam likes his tight ends. You know that's one of the things. You got Devontae Parker, that's a tall wide receiver that can go up and get it, similar to Kelvin Benjamin. So I think if anything, maybe Miami would be my team as far as like a backup quarterback that can step in and still kind of work with that offense. That's what I would say if my first thought. So
Here's the problem. You can go through every single roster. It doesn't matter how bad the quarterback is. You can't find a fit for Cam Newton right now. It doesn't matter. Like, not at the starting position. Maybe Baltimore, he could be a backup. Maybe they
but
come
do
in
you
because I
think
know you wanted to have, like you
you
said,
think he
like them
would
to have a Cam Newton package.
do you think he would take that?
I think he would take wherever he can get right now
yeah, at
because
this point,
he has very
Even as
limited
being a
options.
backup? I
we had
don't
a
know.
couple. We had a couple of suggestions. We had the Ravens by Anthony said the Ravens, and Janice said Houston. So
Yeah, I
Ravens,
You
could,
gotta stay away from
Houston.
Houston.
I could probably do Houston.
Yeah, you don't want to be around Houston. I don't know. Houston got too many issues. But I mean, he may get a chance to start there, but I don't think that that's how he would want to end his career. Being like I was the Houston
Well,
quarterback, going
man,
three
because
and 12.
he don't want to be no backup for nobody. I think he rather
Yeah, he
start.
wants to compete. He'd be a really good. No jabs at Cam, but he'd be a really good like arena league football league type quarterback. I think he's super explosive, and I think that area he would definitely shine. But I know he's not going to do that. But maybe they do a big three arena league football style.
I heard him
With
saying
Cam.
he was okay with being a backup. That's what I heard from. I don't know if it was like Undisputed, First Take, one of them shows. He said he was okay with being a backup. So
I don't
he's
think,
just trying to get on.
I
See,
just think he's trying to play
yeah.
that. I don't think he would be.
Yeah, he needs a chance. He needs that same shot that Jameis got, where he just somebody just takes him on just so that he can like be in the program. So
But
I
he's
say
not
maybe that's one thing.
improving. He's not going to improve anymore as a passer. Like whatever his game is, it's there. It's done. So what you get is what you get with Cam Newton. So I can't think of a single team that would change what they're doing for Cam
Overseas.
Newton right now. It doesn't matter how bad they're. The Vikings would not give up Kirk Cousins for Cam Newton, right? Think about the
Right.
worst team, worst
I-
quarterback situation. They don't want Cam Newton.
See, I thought Cam Newton actually did better in the preseason this year than I thought that he would actually do. So I wonder if he's gotten better as a passer overall. But I wonder, like I said, if the Patriots wanted to continue to invest in Cam Newton and his style with their team, because he isn't the same type of quarterback as you have for a lot of different teams. And if you have those specific types of quarterbacks that are more successful depending upon the situations, and they're vastly different than how other quarterbacks are, then I think that puts a stress on it, and the quarterback needs to be fairly exceptional, right? Like thinking about when Vic was in Atlanta and how they kind of like put that together. Well, they could change around that whole offense at times because they knew that they had somebody special. And Cam right now is not that unique of a player where he's gonna use his skills to win you those types of games. Cam is underrated. As a backup, he is definitely underrated. That was Lynn's comment.
Oh, you said you said he'd be the best backup in the league. That's it.
He would be the best backup
Number
in the
one
league.
backup.
But see, like I said, he's not gonna. I don't think he's not gonna like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's gonna really like dealing with that.
Oh, sorry about that. There you go. Boom. Cool.
I don't think like that. So.
See, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I think Cam will be okay. But now that we talked about Cam, let's. I guess we can finish off at least this one with the that AFC
NFC East.
NFC East. Okay,
Yeah.
so NFC East, right? So in the NFC East, right, we have Washington, Philadelphia, the Giants, and the boys, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, somebody's got to win. It's like
Washington-
whatever, somebody has to.
Washington
So-
up. I'll say that.
Say again?
Washington up top. I'll say that.
Okay.
See, I'm thinking Washington or Dallas. Yeah, so Dallas should win, right? Like you would think Dallas has the talent. They have more talent. They have better quarterback. They have better, maybe not the better defense, but the offense is definitely there. Whereas Washington, we saw what Washington could do last year, which is not much, just enough to win. The
Well,
Giants, I think,
Look at their division.
yeah,
look at
it's
their
terrible.
division.
It's terrible. So I'm gonna go with Dallas winning it, and then I'll go Washington second, and the Giants, and then who am I missing?
You said Washington, the Giants,
Oh, the Eagles last. Yeah,
Eagles. Oh yeah, Eagles. Eagles last.
See,
Yeah.
I got Giants last. No. I got Giants last.
See, I feel like the good thing about Washington is that they have a defense that can always show up.
Yeah.
In addition, they have Ryan Fitzpatrick as their quarterback, and Ryan Fitzpatrick always does something. I don't know exactly what it is, but he always does something. He always makes people think that he's gonna take his team to the Super Bowl every year, and then he's like, "Nah, I'm just Ryan Fitzpatrick, but you guys will like me." So I think that Evin got to experience Ryan Fitzpatrick. He did some good stuff with Tampa Bay, right?
For a minute, but then after a while, man, it was a headache.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things to think about. But they also have Tyler Heineke or whatever, and Kyle Allen, right? So they had injury issues last year, and both of those guys kind of showed up. I think Tyler had a really strong end of the season, so who knows what happens if Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't do well. Maybe they have another quarterback, but I like Antonio Gibson. I like the way that he runs. Their wide receivers, Curtis Samuel's definitely good. Terry McLaurin was definitely good. So I think that's pretty solid. And like I said, with their defense, I think that part is pretty solid as well. With the Cowboys have so much, and they have a lot to prove. I think the Cowboys, man. Yeah, it's hard. Every time I want to put the Cowboys over like 10 wins or so, and then it's just like, but really?
Look at the last 2 years of their division. Like, I don't
All right,
like
let me see.
they records all been kind of low.
All right.
Every single team been low.
So yeah, so I say yeah, the Cowboys are gonna win that division. I'll say it now. The Cowboys are winning the NFC East. Right?
With 8-9, right? 8-9 record.
No.
Yeah.
So let's see. They can beat the Eagles. So let's say I'll go through their schedule real quick, right? Because this is the Cowboys, right?
All right, go ahead.
First game against Tampa Bay, so that's a loss, right?
That's a win.
That's a win. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Easy
feel
win.
it.
oh.
So we'll say that's a win-loss. We'll say that's a loss, just for the bigger picture, right? So that's a loss. What about for against the Chargers, week 2?
Where is it at?
At the Chargers.
Loss.
All right. So Jeremy says 2 losses. Well, we'll say that's low. What about Philadelphia at home?
Win.
Win. Carolina at home?
Win.
I would say they would win that.
All right. So 2 wins. The Giants at home?
Win.
At New England?
Win.
Win.
Okay, win.
With the college rookie quarterback. At Minnesota, that's probably a loss.
Loss.
Home against Denver.
Loss.
Yeah, I'll go loss.
Home against Denver?
Defense.
Man, y'all tripping. Home against Atlanta.
Or win.
Probably a win.
At KC, that's a
Oh,
loss.
come on. Come on.
Home against the Raiders.
Loss.
Against the Raiders,
That's gonna be a
the
shootout.
Cowboys gonna lose against the
That's gonna have
Raiders.
to be a shootout.
Man, I'm
You
telling you.
guys are vastly like taking the Raiders defense for
That's
granted
my
too.
brother's favorite. That's my brother's favorite team too, and
Yeah,
I honestly believe they're gonna lose that, man.
you guys are vastly taking them for granted. That's
I didn't
that's
take
what
a
I'll
side on
say.
this one yet.
Well,
That's what I'll say. So let's say at the right now with them losing to the Raiders, losing to uh, Carolina, that puts them at 5 games. I think that we have so far. So let's go through the rest. At New Orleans, which we don't even know where at New Orleans is gonna be at.
Yeah, it's gonna be at Dallas.
And there we go. It probably will be at Dallas. So
Yeah,
that might be a win. I think
probably.
that yeah. We'll see. So at New Orleans, then they have at Washington against Washington.
Washington will win that.
Both games.
Probably one.
One. So that puts them at like 7. And then
Maybe.
the Giants at the Giants.
I'll give him a win on that one.
It's 8. They have at home against Arizona.
Win.
Arizona. They okay. Now.
And then
I will
at
say
Philly.
this, they
That's
will
that's
beat
10.
Arizona. I will say they will beat
10-7.
Arizona.
10-7. I say that they might get to 11-7. I feel like one of those games in there that you guys didn't think they'll get. They'll get the Raiders or the
I believe they'll beat Arizona.
Carolina.
I
It doesn't
believe
matter where they're supposed to win, though, Paul. That's the thing. They're gonna get to 8-8 every year, regardless. And 8-9 now, since we got 17.
So
I mean, they record every year. Look at their record every year, though.
yeah. So this is what Anthony Price said. Everybody picks the Cowboys every year. Cowboys have overpaid players that don't show up. You know, Cowboys are bad in the winter season every year. So I will say that that's true for a lot. A lot of people always want the Cowboys to be better, or think the Cowboys are going to be better. I struggle to, but I feel like this year with Dak getting his money, with CeeDee Lamb coming back, with the improvements on defense, overall, like the Cowboys weren't just vastly outplayed in every single game. One of the things that I feel like happened with the Cowboys is that they just didn't have enough. Like they were always missing that little extra umph, and they couldn't get it. And then with having Dak out last year and having Dalton there, they just definitely didn't have enough, right? And this is one of the things that me and Jeremy talked about 2 years ago, right? It was basically saying how the difference with Dak was, what he showed, and then this last year talking about how big a difference it was having Dak compared to Andy Dalton, right? So just bringing those back, I don't think that they're super far away. They just need more consistency. And when you have a defense that lets you down and an offense that can't get it done.
See, my problem is the Andy Dalton thing. I just don't get. Like, I don't even know why they got him in the first place. Like, he sucks, man. I'm sorry, he sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks. Like, really. That was a dumb move to me.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan, but yeah. What about Zeke? Zeke will be Zeke, man. Zeke's gonna get his stuff. Janice said, "What about Zeke?" And then, what improvements on defense was what Anthony Price said. So, first of all, what do you guys think about Zeke? Since we're talking about this division, we'll go ahead and
be a little iffy, man. Coming in.
Why is that? What's your hesitation on Zeke?
I don't think he gonna get. He might get 1,000, but I don't know. Might.
Ooh.
Might.
What do you think about Zeke, Jeremy?
I think we're still trying to figure out if he's completely on the decline or not. You know, maybe he has one of those years where he bounces back, and then you think, hey, Zeke's back, you know, and maybe it's just a one-year thing. But any given year, it's hard to say if he's, going to be great or not. I think as long as they mix him up with Tony Pollard's been, how do you be a backup running back for like 4 years on the same team? I don't know how Pollard is still on the team, but apparently he still is. So as long as he gets more touches, then I think you can, keep Zeke healthy longer. And I think that's fine. I think he'll be okay. Like he has to get 1,000, right? He has to be over 1,000, but I don't know how much more than that. I think he'll be fine. Like he ain't gonna be necessarily spectacular, but he can run the ball in short yardage situations, that type of thing, and be a good running back still.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Zeke is that we notice him succeed a lot early on, and I think that having a quarterback that opens up the field, a quarterback that can run, an offense that's more dynamic, plays to what Zeke does well. If you remember him, he's more of being able to be that patient runner that can find those holes and can get north and south really fast. That's one of the things that Zeke does well. But when you have Andy Dalton there, you can have more people in the pocket. You start to shrink these holes that Zeke's able to find and able to get through. And with that happening, now he's definitely not going to be as effective. And then he tries to use his athletic ability, which Jeremy said may be going away a little bit, right? And tries to get around that corner. But if you don't have that speed, if you don't have that quickness, but you still have that burst to get up the middle, the majority of your plays need to be up the middle, and you really need to open up that offense. And I think that that's another thing that Dak offers that we don't really see as much. And see, Tony Pollard is taking his job in 2 years. So again, Pollard again, the same type of thing. He's one of those guys
be on
that
the team for like 2 extra years. How are you gonna be a backup running back for 5 years on the same? How does that work? That don't make sense.
You can be.
Shouldn't you get either you get snatched up by another team or you ain't good enough, right? How do you? It don't make sense.
It's like the Darren Sproles thing. Sproles thing.
It's the owner.
See, I think honestly, like Pollard does fairly good as well. You know, I think the biggest thing I say is Zeke is a playmaker, and he has a playmaker's mentality and mindset. So what he's looking to do is make those big plays, make those plays that get more than 2, more than 3 yards. And again, either he's going to do that by trying to bounce it out to the side and get around the corner, or he's going to try to get that by exploding up the middle and going through a gap. But if he's waiting in the backfield, taking extra time so that he can find that gap and it never comes about, then now he's taking he's getting shorter gains and taking more losses in the backfield. So I think like that's one of the things he has to really work on.
I put it like this: if they get Prescott back, man, it'd probably be better. But right now, I don't think it's gonna be all that great.
Yeah, they got Prescott. Yeah, Prescott's there. So,
but he's not. Well, I don't think he's playing the first game, from what I heard. But it could change. But,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's not 100%. Like whatever is up with him, he's not 100%.
Yeah, so he should be there. Hopefully fairly soon. So we'll see. And like I said, as far as the defense, I think that the big first round draft pick with Micah Parsons or whatever was huge, shoring up that linebacker position with a guy that can have a lot more range. You still have Smith there, that again, another linebacker. They have these young athletic guys that can run and make plays, and that's what they really need. If you're getting these big leads and you know that other teams are, or if you're going to pass all the time or try to get up, put a lot of points on the board, then you're going to have these guys that are going to be trying to pass, and you're going to need linebackers that can cover these tight ends or these running backs or these slot wide receivers out of the backfield. So when they're developing or investing, I should say, in those type of guys, then it helps out the whole team. So that's what I think with the Cowboys. They're investing in that part, and if they can get enough out of their team, then they're right there to kind of really make that hump or get over that hump. So that's my mindset with them. Coming back to what were you gonna say?
I just think that it is important that they get more athletic on defense, and that's what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So in the past years, they've just had a few guys that people hoped would be good. Sean Lee every year got hurt, and he's just the defense would crumble after that. So it's nice that they have some more young athletic guys that hopefully can anchor that defense, because it's just not been athletic enough in the past, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, for sure. So rounding out that division, right? What do you guys think about the Giants? Any thoughts?
I don't know, man. Like I said, that division is kind of iffy, man.
Yeah, that's why we went here, because it's an iffy division. It's one that no one ever knows any year.
Because the only reason why I say that, because every year you look at their winning records. Yeah. They pretty much, because what was it last year, the year before? last, they pretty much all had a tying record. Like it was either 4 teams was going to the wild card because it was just crazy. So that's what I'm saying. It's hard to that division's hard, man, to even tell.
Well, what do you think about the Giants just as a team? What do you think about their team makeup with Saquon, with their wide receivers, Daniel Jones?
I think okay.
So you think they're what?
I think they're okay.
Yeah.
I think if anything, it'll probably see that's what I'm saying. It's hard to tell that division, man, because they can come in second, they can come in third.
Yeah, I think
it's a hard division, man.
I was gonna say, I think with the Giants, the big thing that goes on with them, like I said, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay has had some solid receiving years. Sterling Shepard's still one of those guys that you're waiting to kind of come about. Kadarius Toney, he's a second-year guy, I believe, but he's super quick out the backfield, and he can kind of do a little bit of anything. So if they can get him involved, I think that's going to be helpful. And then Darius Slayton did a really solid job as well at times. Evan Ingram hasn't really came along as much, but I think that him and Kyle Rudolph will definitely help out with that. Didn't they have like Jason Garrett or something? Isn't that their coach or offensive coordinator? So again, he used a lot of tight ends in his play calling when he was with the Cowboys. So that's definitely going to be one of those things to look out for. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a little bit better than some people think about. Their defense, again, they have a solid enough defense, right? We're still waiting to see what Jabril Peppers does. They've talked about him for years, but he's actually starting to come along. He dealt with injury issues early on, right? And also having Leonard Williams, that was another one of those guys that we want to see more out of. So I think that, again, the Giants could be pretty solid. And then the Eagles, Jeremy, what do you think about the Giants? And then I'll let you talk about the Eagles or either one, by the way.
I don't know anything about the Giants, to be honest. I think I just need to see them because last year just kind of doesn't count to me. New coach last year, right?
Yeah.
Knew everything last year. And Daniel Jones, we still don't know if he's any good, which probably means he's not. But, I mean, I just need to see more from them. So the Giants, I really can't pick. I just don't feel like they're going to be a good team. I don't feel like they're going to win 8 games this year, so I can't really speak, but I just feel like I need to see more. And then the Eagles, the Eagles are just going through some stuff. I mean, just different organizational problems, I feel like. So where new coach, new coaching system and quarterback and all that stuff. So I'm not expecting much out of them either until they can kind of find their ways about things. But yeah, neither one of those teams I'm expecting much out of. That's why I put them at the bottom. And that's why I have Washington and Dallas at the top, whatever order I picked them in.
Yeah, I think one of the things for me, I'm very interested in seeing how Jalen Hurts does in his second year. He's one of those guys that, again, I was not a fan of Jalen Hurts. Still not a fan of Jalen Hurts. I think that he's an interesting prospect. He was a good college quarterback. I just didn't necessarily see it all the way with the NFL level unless he made certain gains. So we'll see what happens with Jalen Hurts. They still have Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, Jalen Rigger. So a lot of young wide receivers. So I don't think that that's going to help them out a lot. But Dallas Goedert should be another one. Zach Ertz should be another guy that take advantage of having Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. So I think that that's one thing to keep in mind. So with that division overall, I think I'd say Cowboys at the top. Washington, yeah, like I said. And then
agree with that.
New York and then Philly. Oh, no. I don't know. It's either going to be Dallas, New York, Washington, and then Philly at the bottom. So I think that the Dallas will win handily by week 15. They'll finally close it out. This will be the first of many times.
Agree at the 2 top then, huh? Somewhat agree with the 2 top then.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think that the Giants don't sleep on the Giants. The Giants could be a little bit better than what people think about too. But I think the Cowboys should have a little bit of a stronger season this year. So, well, like I said, we went through almost half of the divisions. So I think if you want to, Jeremy, we can just go through the next ones next show, or we could do one more this show and then end it with that. So it's up to you guys. I don't know how your time is, but either way is fine with me.
I'm good. I say we do it next show. I'm fine. I think this was pretty good so far, so I'm fine with doing it next show.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that you guys had a lot of really good points to think about. We had a lot of the same teams at the top, right? Everybody thinks the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl, so I'm glad that we all agreed on that one. And we all think that the Bucs are going to land flat on their face. So I'm excited to see.
You said what now?
And with that, we're out. No, just like. But I would like to thank our guest Evin for coming on the show. So thank you. Congrats to your Bucs. How was it being on the show? Any last thoughts you want to leave us with before we go out of here?
Nah, this was cool, man. And hey, if we go to the Super Bowl, I hope we see y'all coach there, and I hope we beat y'all.
Wow, you're gonna buy plane tickets and team ticket seats for the Super Bowl this year?
Hey, if I get it,
I'm talking about your whole team.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, if we see y'all there, hey, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool until
the Colts and the Bucs
fourth
make
quarter.
Super Bowl. We all going. All right.
Yeah, on Jeremy. There we go.
Going.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, it could be a possibility. So we'll see. But with that said, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Evin. And I guess this is Beyond Sports with Paul and Jeremy. Thank you guys for attending and checking us out. Thanks for all of our listeners that were communicating on Facebook. We appreciate it. If you liked it, please share with someone else. And I think that's it for me. Anything for you, Jeremy, before we get out of here?
Nah, thanks, Evin, for coming on. This was our best stream ever, most interaction we ever had. So thanks a lot for coming on.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone take care. Thank you guys again, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.